Good evening. There is an epidemic in our county. I call it a plague, heroin. And what is feeding it is shame and stigma. Syracuse and its suburbs have become heroin's playland, taking down the young and old, shattering families in its wake. My daughter Morgan was taken by this epidemic on November 7th of 2015, 5.5 months pregnant. After 8 months clean, 1 week moment, 1 bag of heroin killed her and my grandson. She didn't have to go hunting for it. She didn't have to drive in her car to a shady drug house on the west side. Drug dealers are getting brave now, supplying the demand in the suburbs, making home deliveries, giving curbside service. They dropped heroin right off at my house in Fairmount as I slept. I will not give in to the shame and stigma. I never did when she was alive, and I won't now. Because when we are silent, when we hide in shame, heroin wins and another child dies. Addiction is a disease, not a moral issue. Morgan suffered a horrible trauma when she was 17 years old. She was prescribed Xanax for her PTSD and night terrors. As the memories of her trauma became louder in her head, she sought out other drugs to stop the noise and numb the pain. Up until this trauma, she was a normal, beautiful high school student, playing volleyball, competitive cheerleading, pursuing her art. She started snorting hydros, then on to OxyContin, and as the story goes, with 80% of all heroin users onto heroin. This went on for 5 horrible years. She cried and cried and cried, saying she didn't want to hurt herself, she didn't want to be sick, she didn't want to be addicted, and she didn't want to hurt her family. She had no idea the journey heroin would take her on when she tried it that first time. We tried drug court, we tried numerous attempts at treatment, fighting insurance barriers, inpatient, outpatient, a broken treatment system. We finally found Vivitrol, a once-a-month shot to curb her cravings. It worked. My daughter seemed to be free from the beast of heroin, but she became pregnant and did not want to risk the baby's safety on Vivitrol. And she did not want the baby in withdrawal from methadone or Suboxone when he was born. So off all meds she went. This put Morgan in a very vulnerable position. The insidiousness of this cunning disease is that it can rear its ugly head at any time. Post-acute withdrawal set in. That weak moment came, and now she is gone. And my life is shattered into a million pieces. Heroin has no mercy. Many people told me to turn my back, kick her out, let her hit rock bottom. But what many people do not understand is that rock bottom is many times death with heroin. We must move away from this archaic approach devised in the Alcoholics Anonymous system for alcoholics. 1 shot of vodka will kill no one. 1 bag of heroin killed my daughter. Addiction is a disease and should be treated as such. You cannot incarcerate, humiliate, or discipline someone out of this disease. Believe me, I tried. There are many other solutions: early education, the CRAFT method, Vivitrol with counseling, long-term continuance of care, medicine-assisted treatment, recovery coaching, just to name a few. But in order to have access to solutions, we need to address the insurance barriers. I do not believe in tough love, but I won't judge others in how they choose to take this walk far too many of us are taking. I can only tell you my story, my truth, and my way. And in my eyes, love was the only way out. I can tell you that the hope ends for all of us when the love and compassion go away. Hope ends for that child with a disease when he or she is shunned because they have an addiction. Hope dies in their hearts every time they are shamed by family, friends, and the members of the community. And that isolation only throws them deeper into their despair, deeper into their disease. You never know someone's story, their demons, or their pain. So if you know someone or a family fighting this monstrous disease, reach out with a compassionate hand and be a beacon of hope in a very dark place for someone. And if you are a parent of a child with this disease, I urge you to surround them with love and support, raise their bottom, and do not give in to the shame and stigma. No more hiding, no more shame. If you need hope, borrow some of mine. If you need strength, take some of mine. We must stand up as a community, come together and bring change to the broken recovery system, break down the insurance barriers, and save our children and all those affected by this plague. Every time we hide, another soul goes to heaven and the devil heroin wins. Thank you.